There she is.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm super excited because, girl, I never go live. And so this is really fun.
Thank you. Wow, that is awesome. We love to hear it. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to do this. Let's
Oh
go,
God,
girl.
of course. We love you. We love your work, Chelsea. You are amazing. And we are so excited to be chatting with you about your new role in this latest series, Snowpiercer on TNT, which premieres tonight.
Bam, bam, bam.
Hey.
Whew. It's a long time
So,
coming.
yes, absolutely, girlfriend. Can we get into it with you?
Let's do it,
Let's
please.
do it. All right, so now your character, Sykes, has now been introduced to season 2 of TNT's futuristic thriller, Snowpiercer. So for those who are new to the series, could you tell us a little bit more about the series and then talk a little bit about your character and your character's dynamic?
Yes. So go on me for a journey for a second.
That's
Imagine that, imagine that this terrible climate crisis happens and the whole world goes into an ice age, and the last living people on Earth live in a train that was invented by this brilliant madman scientist named Wilford. And this train, all it does is circle the Earth. And imagine that you have, every representation of life as it is now on that train. So you can imagine the madness that happens
Yeah.
within a tiny enclosed space. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And can you talk a little bit about your character, Sykes?
Yes, yeah. So my character, I come in season 2,
Yes.
and I am Wilford's right-hand woman. Sykes, she's a covert operative. She's a badass who
Love it.
is, she's lurking through the shadows a lot, and she's getting a lot of things done for Mr. Wilford. You'll see as things are revealed, whether they're light things, whether they're dark things. Yeah.
Okay.
She's an intense woman.
Girl, I love to see a sister in this type of role, girl. I love to see it.
What's so crazy too is I remember when I first auditioned for this role, they had it written for a man. And I know. And I don't know how, by the grace of God, this landed on my shoulders, but all I can tell you is I'm so thankful and I'm doing my best with it.
You are. You're doing phenomenal, and I can't wait for tonight. Now, it is amazing to be part of a series that first started off as a movie. I don't know if many people know that or even realize it, but it started off as a movie, and it's now the number one cable entertainment, or excuse me, the number one new show on cable. It has gone on to become a TV series, which is rare for most movies to go from, or most TV series to go from being a movie to a full on-out television series. Now, were you at all familiar with the movie before landing your role in the series?
What's so wild? I actually wasn't. I wasn't. And a few days before my audition, I watched it for the first time. It's on Netflix. Go watch it.
Yep.
And I mean, it's Bong Joon-ho who wrote and directed the film. He also is the person who did Parasite. So, yeah. So if that gives you any inclination into how wild of a film, how wild of a world it is. Yeah. But I wasn't. And then I watched it and was like, oh yeah, this is definitely something.
This is it. Right.
This is it.
Now, Snowpiercer mimics modern day society with its topics of classism, equal rights for all. Do you think society could learn from the type of discrimination that is seen in this series?
That is such a great question. Yes, I think definitely. I think that people can learn from, the class discrimination. I think people can also learn, this is what I think people can take away from this, is you're watching two people, or two sides, fully convicted, fighting for what they believe in. One side is about justice and order. It's not about justice, it's about order. The other side is about justice and democracy. And much like the world that we live in, check that out. Yeah, and it's not about right or wrong, but you're seeing these two sides fully convicted, and you're seeing all of the good of it and all of the bad of both of those things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And that so mirrors where we are, you know, in our lives today. So this is going to be so interesting. Such a good watch. Do you see any of your personality in your character, Sykes?
Ooh, girl, yes, I do. Now, when you watch the show, you're gonna be like, "Wow, really?" But when I say that, do I see my personality in her? Yes. Sykes is a woman who is supremely focused, and she is a go-getter. She is a badass, and she's not going to let anything stop her. And I would like to think that as a person playing this woman, that there are seeds of her absolutely in me. I love her. I love her. She takes it to an extreme.
Right.
You know, her willingness to go to the ends of the earth to survive. But there are definitely parallels between she and I.
I love it. I love it. And that's why I said I love to see a sister in this role, taking on these challenges, intelligent, beautiful, and getting shit done. Getting it done. Hello, somebody. Now, the series stars major actors such as Jennifer Connelly, David Deeds, and Sean Bean, who are also added to the cast this season. What was it like to work with such big, phenomenal names like these?
I mean, it's one of those pinch me moments, right?
Yeah.
Thank God that I got the chance to work on this after working on Top Gun Maverick, where I had just worked with Tom Cruise and John Hamm and some other, you know, big heavy hitters over there.
Yes.
But I mean, Jennifer Connelly is a titan. This woman knows her craft. She shows up with a book laid out of her notes.
Wow.
And I learned so much in watching her. And David, you know, if you all know him from Hamilton or from Blind Spotting, the man is everywhere. And he, as, you know, obviously one of the number one people on the show, he brings such a light to work, right? Especially when you're doing heavy shows or shows with heavy topics. It can be kind of hard sometimes to be on set, right? And this man just keeps things buoyant. He keeps things warm, and he makes it a pleasure to be there. And Sean Bean, okay, did you see Game of Thrones season 1? Do you remember Ned Stark, the one who you thought the show was going to be about, who died?
Yes.
Sean Bean. The man is like, I mean, I don't even know how to talk about him because he's just like, I feel so lucky that I get to work with him and work so closely with him. I've learned a lot from him. Yeah, oof, blessed.
I was going to say the same thing. Blessings on blessings. What an opportunity. You are working amongst, you know, the powerhouses of this industry, and that just means that you're in the right company. That's you, honey, all day. Now, were there any challenges taking on this role?
I think the challenges in taking on Sykes, well, you know, honestly, it was coming into a show that already had an entire season. Yeah, you know, and building onto that world. I mean, you know, for some actors, that is very easy for them to do. But when we began filming season 2, season 1 hadn't even come out yet.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was.
That definitely sounds challenging.
Yeah. And so, you know, there was just so much left to the imagination. But thank God we had a really great team of directors and producers and writers where they were always available anytime we had questions like, hey, can you give me this backstory? What happened? You know, they were all there. Yeah.
Okay, that makes so much sense. I mean, I could see that coming into something that was already so well established, and then having to kind of mold yourself right in line or right in form. I could see that being a challenge. Now, another question I have for you is, what have you learned about yourself since becoming an actress?
Oh, since becoming an actress. I have learned that, you know, I am worthy beyond measure just by being the human being that I am. Because, girl, and that's a lesson for everyone, right? Because especially there's this notion in Hollywood that you have to look this certain way. You have to be this size if you're a woman. You have to have this skin tone. You have to have these features. You have to have this, all this stuff. And I don't fit the mold of most of that. You know, I really have had to kind of form my own lane.
Mm.
And that is the thing that keeps coming up for me is, oh, it's okay to form your own lane. It's okay to build your own beauty standards. And it's okay to own, you know, all of your stuff.
Absolutely. And can I just say that you may not fit the mold, but it's in the most beautiful way because you are stunning. When I see you, I see the Black woman that I aspire to. I aspire to be. You're stunning and you are an amazing representation for us all. So keep doing your thing. Keep doing it, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, we heard you will also be appearing, and you actually mentioned it just briefly, appearing in Top Gun, Maverick, starring Tom Cruise. You did mention that just a little while ago. Could you tell us a little bit more about that role and when we can expect to see it?
You will. The thing about Top Gun Maverick is, honey, it is so under wraps. It is so under wraps. What I can tell you about the film is it's going to be really epic. And I mean, it's going to come out July 2nd, 2021, you know, God willing, you know, that it doesn't get pushed back. But even if it does, watch. Because Tom Cruise, you know, he's reprising this role after, I think, like 25 something years. And the passion, the intention, the work, the detail that was put into this is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And even just being on that set, you knew you were doing something special. You knew you were doing something that was important. Even when we were on, because we filmed on Coronado, the military base in San Diego, people came up to us and said, I signed up for the Air Force because I watched that movie.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is amazing. And it's so amazing that you are now part of this film's legacy. Look at that. Girl, look at them working.
I know.
Now, you also had a recurring role as Trisha Sims in a very popular series, Designated Survivor. How was that experience? Again, working with big names. And I mean, at this point, you are a big name. You are amongst those names of people that we are listing. You are one of them, girlfriend. But how does it feel? I mean, working with another cast that is just full of phenomenal and talented actors and actresses.
Thank you. Thank you. You cut out just for like 2 seconds. And so I didn't hear the full question, but I think I heard you ask, what was it like? What was it like working with these? I mean, that was the first major recurring role that I ever had. And let me tell you, for one, Kiefer runs a tight set because he was playing the US president. And therefore, when you're playing the president, you stand in that role. And he very much did. And, you know, when you showed up to work, you stood at attention. And, you know, just like with Top Gun, you knew that you were doing something that felt very important.
Right.
And my favorite, oh gosh, I have a lot of really good memories from working on that set. My very first episode, I'm like, should I get into it? Should I get into it?
Get into it.
Okay.
Get into it, please.
Yes. My very first episode was directed by a very talented actor / director, Timothy Busfield. And, you know, it was a really meaty scene where my character, Trisha Sims, is proving herself. And you know, she is interviewing for a new job at the White House. And she tells this person who was just sent her out to do all this crazy stuff. She tells him, look, you know, I don't remember exactly, but like, just, she comes from very humble beginnings. And she said, I will do anything. You know, I will show up and rock out. And I remember in shooting that scene, Tim gave me the best, juiciest piece of advice. Because, you know, I, as an actor, was kind of paralleling what Trisha was going through, you know? Yeah. And he told me, he said, show me you can do it. In the same way that Trisha is trying to show, this other character that she can do it. He's like, show me you can do it. And I don't know, it was something so simple and so small. It was like, yeah, you know? Yeah. And as an actor, you don't always get that kind of directing. Yeah.
So personal, almost. I love
So personal.
Wow, phenomenal. So we'd love to know, do you have any passion projects that you are currently working on, or anything that is, dear to your heart along with acting?
Yes, yes. And so one of my missions in life is to really just help elevate women, the status of women around the world, help us break free from all kinds of things, beauty standards, help us break free from just patriarchy. Hey. And so too, I do a lot of mentoring with young women. Several years ago, I started working with Dove and the Dove Self-Esteem Fund, and helping to do workshops for young women and mentor young women through that. I also even have an accountability group of women that I, help reach out to and support every single day. Also, I've been working with New Village Girls Academy, which is a charter school that is here in LA, and they bring in mentors. They bring in mentors to help these young women, just an all-girls school, and yeah, just getting to pass on anything that I've gained makes it worth it.
Wow. Wow. Chelsea, you're such a phenomenal spirit. That is beautiful. That is beautiful to take what you have, all of your gifts and talents, and want to give back and share and encourage and inspire and support the community in that way. I applaud you. I really do. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
So what is one thing that you would like people to know about Chelsea Harris?
Ooh, one thing. There's so many things. Yes. I think the number one thing that I want people to know about Chelsea Harris is I see you. I see how hard people are working, right, to upgrade whatever it is that their circumstances are, and I always applaud that. I always, always, always applaud that. And the one thing that I want people to know is I'm rooting for you. I am always rooting for you. You know how people are like, I'm rooting for everybody Black. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm also, I'm also rooting for all women. So yeah, I'm rooting for you.
Can I get a high five on that?
Girl.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, sis. Thank you so much. Now, we kind of already mentioned this earlier on, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention it one more time. When and where can we catch you on the new season of Snowpiercer?
You can catch me on the new season of Snowpiercer, premiering tonight at 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Central on TNT. And if you just happen to be catching us worldwide outside of the U.S., it hits Netflix tomorrow.
Hey there now. I know I'll be tuning in tonight. I will. I can't wait to see your lovely face. Now, we have one more bonus question for you. I think this might be one of my favorites.
Ooh.
Giving each other our flowers while we're still here, showing that we love and support each other, showing that, we care about each other right now while we're still here is so important. And I love the entire concept about giving each other our flowers now. So my question for you is, if you could give anybody their flowers, who would that person be and why?
Ooh. There are so many people.
Yeah.
There are so many people. This is the person that I would say, and look her up. This woman, her name is Susan Batson, and she's a New York acting coach. She is a Black woman. She has been doing this forever. And this woman's love of art and the way that she makes you love it too. I mean, it has changed how I enjoy this craft completely. It changed the way that I watch film and movies. It changed the way, it inspires me to have even more will to win in my life. Yeah. And I don't know, she's something special. She's something special. And she's been doing this since before anyone else was really teaching this as a Black woman.
Okay, we need to give her flowers immediately. Susan, wherever you are in the world, we are giving you your flowers right now. We're sending you so much love. Thank you so much. Chelsea, you have been amazing. Can I say that?
Thank you. I love this. Has been so fun.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we were able to, make you comfortable and have you open up with us, especially about your new series that's premiering tonight. We thank you so much for your time. Can you just let everyone know where we can follow you and find you on social media?
Yes, on both Instagram and on Twitter, I am Ms. Chelsea Harris. That's Ms., not Miss. So MS Chelsea Harris. And please reach out to me. I respond to messages. I love it if anything I've ever said, inspires someone when they feed me that back. Like, I appreciate it.
Oh God, you're just so beautiful and lovely, and you have such an amazing speaking voice. Do you sing by chance?
Why does everybody ask me? No, I don't sing.
That's hard to believe.
But I will say I would like to do some more voiceover for whoever is watching.
Okay, you better put it out there. You better put that out there. Just your voice is just so, it pulls you in, man. It pulls you in.
Oh, it pulls people in.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you better put that voice work out there, girl.
I
just want to thank you so much, beautiful. Those of you who have been tuning in, we thank you for tuning in with us. You have been watching Black Cinema Now. Make sure you give us a follow. And you can follow me, your host, over at Hwood Gems. And thank you all. Until next time. Thank you, Chelsea.
So much fun.
So much fun. We have to do this again sometime.
Please, I want to.
All right, my love. Well, you enjoy yourself, and we will be watching you tonight.
Thanks, girl.
All right, you take it easy, love. Bye, you guys.